So,
I don't see it.
call it a session.
You see it?
Yeah, 7:31.
Okay.
Oh, vacancy.
I didn't know it was good, this trade off here.
So, go ahead and review the minutes. And I'll take a motion to approve the minutes from September 3rd. And I'll take a motion to approve whenever someone's ready.
Motions. I move that we approve the minutes of the September 3rd meeting. Second.
Okay, moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the September 3rd meeting. Is there any discussion on the motion? So, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Votes unanimous. So we have a request, was not 7:25. But yes. So we can go ahead and review the preliminary CPC application.
So I did prepare this. What we looked at last time was actually the final CPC application, which I have begun working on and editing a lot of the amounts on. Here in front of you, you can see this one pager is the preliminary CPC application. It is a lot shorter and it is, to my best understanding, complete and ready for submission. Alec today did mention that it would be in our best interest to request a higher funding this year. We located a couple future opportunities for additional funding that the Conservation Trust Fund would benefit from, as well as increased conservation restriction monitoring has been our goal. And in the future, potentially onboarding an agent. This is kind of just housekeeping of our funds, bringing up the money, and it's shoot for the stars, land on the moon situation. So we can ask for this amount, and if they choose to give us this amount, great. And if they choose to give us a little bit less,
What was it
that's fine too. It was 10,000 and half of 10,000.
Yes, that's
We're
what.
looking for the fire station or the conservation?
Board of Health.
Board of Health.
That's what?
I can check that for you. Check that separately, but feel free to discuss.
And what's the reason for the higher bill?
For the higher amount?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a list of reasons, I didn't catch them.
Yeah, I had it written down here somewhere. Essentially it was, Alec and I had attended a Conservation Land Trust, legislative, session by the Mass, Land Trust partners, and what they were identifying in the coming years were a lot of opportunities for projects, for grant opportunities, just a lot coming on the horizon that was of interest to Alec and I. So we wanted to start thinking about what these next couple of years will bring and look like in our trust fund. Right now, we have a good amount of money. We think that it's a good year to ask for a bit more. So potentially this year and potentially the next year, we can ask for an increased amount, just so each time we're using it for a project or a semi-large project, we're not completely draining it, and we'll have some reserve funding pretty much anytime we use it.
So what are the next steps after this preliminary application?
So you guys can vote to approve this preliminary application. If you'd like, we can also change the name to your name, David, for the time being. It doesn't really matter until the final application, which Liz will definitely see. Alec also said that it didn't matter, it's up to the board. And then once the final application comes down the line, I'll have prepared, essentially that it's more of a narrative that accompanies the application. And it's essentially this with more detailed, explanation of how we plan on using the funds, how we've used the funds in the past. And with that, we also know that we list what we've been using the funds for and kind of what our fund has sat at recently.
So at some point, I guess it's the final application goes before the Community Preservation Committee for approval.
Yes.
Any idea of when that's that date or?
Yeah, it's so this preliminary is due Thursday, September 25th at 4 p.m. And I want to say that the final is due the last Thursday of October. I can get the final date for you. I believe it's actually.
Is that for the, is there a town meeting?
Yeah, I think that's what
It's-
the annual town is.
Yeah, it's past that. It's at
Okay,
the
okay.
end of October. And Steve, were you at the CPC meeting?
Yeah, your timing sounds about right.
Yeah, I can pull it up here if you give me a second. I think it's in here. Timeline. October 30th, deadline to submit final applications for ATM 2026.
So, plenty of runway is what that means.
Yep.
And then, at some point, the FinCom reviews the application, or I guess once it becomes a warrant article, then the FinCom, discusses it at a meeting.
It's been draw some comments from
That will happen.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's probably in here. Project reviews and comments by town boards and committees.
Well, yeah, I think that, I don't think that's a public hearing. But at some point, the FinCom will hold a public hearing.
Oh, public
on all
hearing,
the
okay.
warrant articles. I think that will probably be next year.
Yeah, be closer to the town.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Final warrant articles, the town administrator to be determined. So I think at some point after that.
Yeah.
And before
March, April.
Yeah. So, I'd be interested to see how the FinCom reacts to the, increase in the requested amount. So, anyway. So do I hear a motion to approve this preliminary application?
Oh,
I had a question. Go ahead, Steve.
oh, you can do it after, right? Move it.
Oh,
I move to approve the CPC preliminary application.
There's a second.
Second,
I'll move in second to approve the preliminary CPA application as drafted. Any discussion on the motion?
I just had a question for my own clarification. We're referring to a project, and down the bottom, it asks, we need approval from another board or committee, and we list Conservation Commission. So I'm just curious, we're proposing a project, but we approve it ourselves?
No. I mean, the commission will then at some point, I'm sure, take a vote to approve the final application, but there's, besides town meeting approval, there's no other approval that's needed.
I think that's what, like, covering all bases, right, to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was listed on there because it was listed on the last year's application, which was probably listed on the previous year's application.
I think probably what this question refers to is like if it's for project that requires the commission's approval in the permitting process, something like that. I think that probably what it refers to.
Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
aye.
Chair votes aye. So.
Who seconded this?
Who
I did say aye.
second?
I did second.
It was like Jesse said.
Steve, okay.
You should do, throw
That's
notes.
Okay, easy enough. I will submit as is. I will let Liz know that we're putting it in her name. I'm sure she'll have no problem with that as chair. And yeah, you guys can expect potentially at the next meeting, trying to block out our scout calendar. I'll look at it, but our final application should have a rough draft by the first. And then we can look at it, edit it, and then approve it by the following meeting, which we may move around because of town meeting. Yep, looking like potentially October 22nd.
When is the town meeting scheduled for?
Tuesday and Wednesday, October 14th and 15th.
So yeah, so we may have to schedule the October 5th, reschedule the October 15th meeting.
Yes, yep. Definitely gonna have to reschedule that. Probably the 22nd is, I believe, the optimal date. I have to double check with Alec regarding the planning board schedule, but I think they had pointed out the Monday, the 20th for their meeting. So that would clear us to be able to meet that Wednesday, the 22nd.
And I think the 23rd, that Thursday would actually work better for me. Are you aware of any other meetings on the 23rd?
23rd
Yes, Thursday.
would be the fourth Thursday. It's normally EDCs, I believe, but with them hosting an event the weekend prior, I'm not sure that they will meet that weekend. It's also a pretty long month, just the way the weeks are laid out. So all the meetings are going to be kind of all over the place, including with town meeting, kind of jamming that knife in there. So
Well, that would work better for me. I don't know about anyone else. But
Wait, sorry, what is,
So what's the
yeah,
proposal?
what is the, what are you suggesting?
if can you meet on October 23rd, which is a Thursday?
I generally can't do a Thursday, but I think, excuse me, with that much advance notice, I could make it work.
Yeah, same here. I mean, normally Thursday is a sort of a standing meeting at first, but. People prefer that.
Okay, well, I mean, if I have to, I can meet on the 22nd, 23rd.
This would be instead of one of the first or the 15th or in addition?
And instead of, it would replace the October 15th meeting.
I see, so, and you have something, you would come out another 22nd.
So well, we don't have to make that
Yeah.
decision now. Just
probably better for the
First.
to be decided on the first, see Liz's availability too. Yeah, right now we are on the 22nd. But we'll decide that on the first. And we're almost there, 1 minute. So I will pull up the correspondence we got as well. If it's 7:45, I'll let you read the legal notice. Or I can read a legal notice pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Boxborough Wetlands Bylaw. Public hearing will be held before the Boxborough Conservation Commission to consider a notice of intent filed by Goldsmith Press and Greenwald on behalf of the applicant BHG 109 LLC. And then we'll go to our correspondence and show this email that was received Monday afternoon from PE Limhut Tiv of the project. We share this. Requesting for further continuation to our next meeting. Going to get in contact with him. It seems like he wants to wait until to come before the Conservation Commission following the next planning board meeting. The next planning board meeting is 10/6, which would be after our next meeting. So I'm gonna get in contact with him and see exactly when he would like to meet. If he'd like to come before us on the first, I would doubt it, but obviously that's his decision to make. So I will be back to you guys on what you guys know.
But we do have to, continue it to, a date. So what we could do is we could continue it to October 1st. And at that point, you'll know.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
yeah, good idea, procedurally, that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do I hear a motion to continue this hearing to October 1st?
I move that we continue the 975 Mass Ave hearing until September 1st.
Second,
October.
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 Okay, moved and seconded to continue the hearing for 113-597 to October 1st.
What time?
Let's say 7:45.
Yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, so motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Ethan, for the information.
Yeah.
Okay,
Would you like to go through the other correspondence? You were privy to it, but I want to make sure the rest of the commission is aware. So, actually, I'm not sure you were on this one.
that one I remembered, yeah.
Yep. Oh, this one's from Scott. So Scott Smyers, who
Yeah.
visited us last time, just passed along this correspondence that he had made with Guy Falavalita, who is the MassDOT maintenance for our district. He says, Scott, I've spoken with District 3 Assistant Maintenance Engineer Arthur Reska. Both he and I agree with spraying any invasive weeds along Route 111 in Boxbar as long as you are a licensed applicator and follow all Department of Agriculture state guidelines. So he passed that message along to us, and then Friday, Mary had received this and passed this along to me. It was just Angela Schofield, MassDOT District 3, again confirming that this will be happening along 111.
So this is
So she's notifying us of Scott's.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. So it was, we're in the process that we had talked about and approved last time was on, town right of way and not MassDOT right of way. We were able to sign off on that, approve it, talk about it. Whereas this is MassDOT right away. Scott was pretty much kept us in the loop and talked to MassDOT. And then MassDOT is now reaching out to us and essentially letting us know that.
So if you could just go back to the first slide.
Yeah.
So says this is a courtesy notification to let you know that MassDOT, in the person of Scott Smyers,
Yeah.
will be using herbicides that pre-select invasive plants. Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that there.
Is our boiler still gonna work?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
this would be a good time to update as well. I did talk with Jim Gareffi. David had brought about a really good question, whether or not proximity to wellheads, zone 1 and was of any concern to spraying. Essentially, I reached out to Jim Gareffi and he gave me a very long-winded but helpful answer that said, there's a lot of studies on this, there's a lot of legislation on this. As of right now, the glyphosate, which is the exact chemical that Scott Smyers will be using to apply to the Japanese knotweed, is not listed on the Department of Agricultural Resources herbicide/pesticide control list. And there was another list that I will figure out, but it was not listed on either of the lists. Or it was the water resources list as well, and that was also not listed on there. Essentially, glyphosate is able to, David, maybe you can speak to this better if you know it all, but it sticks to the soil a lot more than other herbicides and pesticides, and it's not transported.
And I think that Scott will be using a formulation of it that's meant for more aquatic type of environments and areas.
Right.
And I'll just add that, well, going back 10 years or more, the commission has had a policy not to require filing for application of herbicides for treatment of invasives. So that's why he's doing a filing with us.
As long as with a licensed person, if it's something beyond, yeah.
So, well, that happened quickly.
Yeah, it did. So I was very responsive and Mike was very receptive to it. I think as you heard from Ed Cookla, everybody was like,
That's good.
please, by all means, get this done. So yeah.
I'll just say that I think in the future, I think this is sort of a demonstration project. And in the future, I think Scott might request some funding from the town, at least do it in the town.
What's he own? He lists himself as president.
President.
Yeah, I think he is the owner now. Although don't quote me on that, but yeah, I think he is the primary owner.
Yeah, okay.
So, okay.
Now that all the other views are coming down, the Nolly's leaning into all the roads is very visible.
Yeah.
So
Thank you for that.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah, totally.
I'll pivot this to the Campanelli letter discussion. I know that this is something we had agreed we wanted to talk about with Liz present. So if you guys want to table that until the next meeting, totally fine.
First time to do that?
Yeah, there's a little update to provide with that. They presented to they had a public hearing with the planning board on Monday. I was not able to attend. I had food poisoning, but the update that I got was that they still have yet to close the hearing, and a lot of public comment was received during the meeting, of which I'll be catching up on, and it's on boxboroughtv.com as well. So you guys can all catch up on. What I've left in this packet are the letters of support that were uploaded for the planning board. There's a good bunch of them in there, so it's going to be in this material Dropbox as well as your next material Dropbox when we talk about it. And then the request that they had sent to Liz, the presentation to the planning board, their most recent presentation to their planning board, and then their full application as well. If you guys want to look at that, obviously up to you, but we'll have a much more robust discussion about that next time with Liz.
Now,
Do we have a draft?
yeah, didn't they take the action item to draft a letter of approval?
Not that I know of.
Yeah,
There was a draft last.
the Lot 100 one, were you thinking?
Oh,
Additionally, the commission reviewed the requested letter of support for the OSCD. This item will be discussed at the next meeting, September 7th. So yeah, there we are.
So I can just tell you how I feel about this. I'm not in favor of drafting, or sending a letter of support, if that's what you want to call it, without a presentation to this commission, on the project. We have a chance, we have somebody from the company here, representative from the company here, to discuss it with them, to ask questions. I just, we're getting information basically third hand at this point, and I'm not saying that, it's not believable, but I personally really want the opportunities to speak directly with the project proponent on this. What are they proposing? How is it in the Conservation Commission's interest to support what they're doing? I think it also gives us a chance to address some of the concerns we have with the management of the property with respect to the conservation, with the conservation restriction. I don't think that it has been over the past 25 years or whatever since the CR has been in place. I don't think it's been managed really the way it's supposed to be. So I think they need to hear that. They need to know what concerns we might have. So that's just my feeling.
So I was just slightly confused by the Beaver Brook thing and the OSCD. So, yeah. So I read all the letters. It looked like a real love fest, support from various agencies. So I will note, there were 3 trusts in there.
Yeah.
2 of them, SVT and BCT, said hey, looks really nice and all, but we're a 501 three C, and so we're not really going to give you a letter of support. That's not what we do. However, Harvard HCT said, yeah, this is great, we support it. So then I crawled all over their website and I finally found that they are also a 501. Let's see.
Yes.
They're also receiving about 50 acres.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right, so I can see them supporting that.
So did they not get the memo that it's not appropriate for us to comment on things with which they have a financial benefit? So I don't know, I was reading them through and I saw that even the SVT and BCT said, this looks good, we applaud your efforts. Keep going, boys, but they stopped short of. But I said specifically, we are not giving you a letter of support, and Harvard did not draw the line, so just we're curious.
And you know, and I think I mentioned this before, I mean, there are also certain concerns about, you know, one regulatory board asking, another regulatory board to support a particular application. Not saying that it's, you know, way out of line, but I think it has to, we have to think carefully about how to do it appropriately, if in fact that's what we choose to do.
Okay,
So what would a letter like this actually do? I mean, does it give them approval or something? It's a letter of support, but does it mean?
it's attaboys, they can waive at the town meeting.
Right, they can show.
Well, but this is in conjunction with the process before the plan board, right?
Yes,
This is-
it's not a plan,
yes.
town meeting process, it is, strictly planning board.
Okay,
So if you weren't even clear on that,
okay,
then I think it's way too premature to, you know, grant this request to write a letter.
so totally fair. And so this is, but yeah, they're lining up a lot of support. They want basically the planning board to go, yep. And move forward. Okay, I understand.
So I guess we'll put this off for continued discussion until the next meeting. I don't know what the ramifications potentially are with regard to timing and the planning board having to close the hearing.
Yeah,
But if they have to close it without getting something from us, then my opinion is that just the way it is.
That's okay, yeah.
That's fine.
Would it be more normal for them just to come here with an NDA or something? Or an NDA?
Like so much deeper.
Well, I believe they might have to file something with the Conservation Commission at some point. I don't know, I don't think there's anything specifically determined about that yet. And I think that would probably give us, you know, another opportunity to discuss the concerns, but you have to be a little bit careful there about linking, you know, certain issues with, you know, the regulatory considerations.
Yeah, but this letter of support doesn't seem like it is even legal. Like it doesn't say we approve.
No, it doesn't say we'll be approving any.
Yeah, it's not approval, it is strictly support. And as you were saying, yeah, it's separate processes. We're not approving anything now, but there definitely will be filings in the future from them should their current proposal and request with the planning board move forward. And so it is a process that any board can do or deny, whether they support or, you know, do not support a project. And in regards to the timing, the planning board has 90 days following the close of a hearing to render a decision. It's unlikely that they'll close the hearing and render a decision in the same night. They'll probably take a good amount of that time to think on it and continue to discuss their thoughts on the decision. So yeah, I think we're in a little time crunch for this.
But they can't accept any new information after the hearing closes.
That's true, yes, but with this next meeting being the first, and the next hearing being the 6th, we'll have a window But as of right now, nothing is gonna be, done or really discussed until that, meeting on the first. And I wanna pose the question, is it in the interest of the commission to potentially have the applicant before the planning board come forth to the commission to present on this?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it is.
It's interesting, I find it interesting, I don't think that the fate of this project will live or die depending on our presence of our
I
evidence,
agree.
right?
No, probably not, but at the very least, it gives us an opportunity
That-
to express our concerns.
No, I'm
To
just
share wants
understood,
and needs, yeah.
and your point about, we will certainly have an opportunity to give our opinion should they need to file before us in the future, because, and it's likely that they will, because they have an ambitious agenda there.
But I think it's certainly to our advantage, in our interest to give them a heads up sooner rather than later. If, we have any concerns, any issues with regard to,
Good idea.
Do we suspect that their project is within our jurisdiction?
well, I think they've said that portions of it
Yeah, portions of
will
it like
require
are.
filing.
If they almost don't.
But they are only up for a special permit to amend, to accept their master plan. And it's not gonna allow for the development of any of the buildings their proposal, because those will come in site plan approval for each of the buildings. Essentially, they have a master plan and they're saying that this decision from 25 years ago is old. They wanna update it to X, Y, and Z for their master plan. And as David said, it will come with future filings, but, their current, proposal with the planning board is not for any, immediate development.
So the original special permit was pursuant to the town's OCSD bylaw, which is open space commercial development bylaw, which allows them to design the project in a certain way so as to promote and encourage the preservation of open space. And so that's right now what they're asking for is to amend the original decision to update it. And as Ian points out, yeah, it's not there's not a specific site plan right now that's been submitted that the board will look at, will review, or either approve or deny. That's for a later time.
I guess I'm concerned that a letter like that would sort of commit us to coming to a certain conclusion, and if they ever do file.
That's a legitimate concern. But I think if we, another one of the reasons I see in having someone, a representative, a project proponent come here in person and present gives the opportunity for the commission to express, at least initially express an opinion or a position on the project in the way that we choose. Maybe we don't choose to, outright support.
Yeah.
But we might say something like, well, this has certain, aspects to it that advance our interests, but here are our concerns. So again, I think that's an opportunity.
Okay, so anything else on that? I will reach out to, Campanelli and see their availability for October 1. See if they'd like to join our meeting and present and discuss a bit about this.
Yeah, we don't have any other regulatory business.
No, we don't.
So
The one at 7:45 hearing, right?
well, that's probably going to be continued again.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, you're talking about for October 1st?
October 1st.
Yeah.
We don't have any other
No,
filings, right?
no.
So I think that would be a good time. I think that would be a good time. We'll be able to spend a little time at that meeting then, with some back and forth.
Mhm. That way, if they do continue, we won't have to come here, open it here and close it for nothing. Or move it.
Yeah, right.
Who is it with Campanelli or
Russell, it says, one of the things that I read, that's what the.
Who would probably come?
I mean, I assume it'd be someone from Campanelli.
Yeah. That's a good
Yeah.
question. They might be able to put my guess is they would come virtually because a lot of them work on the South Shore. I can see if they wanna come in person, but my guess is that they're gonna wanna come virtually. There's
Okay.
Russell, who is the head partner on this. I doubt he would want to come, but he might show interest. He was the one who initially asked Liz and, phoned me about asking,
Is he the British guy?
No.
Okay. It was a British guy with the parking lot of the craft food wall.
Oh, I'm not sure. There's Johanna, who is their attorney, who has done most of the planning board presentations. And then they have their environmental consultants, who's been working more on the conservation side. John Rockwood of the environmental. I'm filling the consulting firm. Someone might tag him in as well. But I can't say for certain who exactly it would be. It'd be one of that crew and potentially Jeff Wyman, who's a younger younger person at Campanelli who's been working on this project as well. Did the site visits with the planning board over there.
Well, it sounds like they've got plenty of people.
Yeah.
We might be able to, my guess is, and quote me on this, if it were John, he'd probably be here in person, but we'll see how that goes.
Russell came to a few of them before.
But
Russell Dion is on there.
Yep.
He came to a few of them in the past.
The Constone was
Yeah.
for 400.
For the, like the food hall. Oh, the Brown Marina.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
and John has been here as well. So
You know who
Is he the British guy?
what's
Is he
that?
British or Scottish?
No, he's not.
Environmental tech.
Hmm.
I don't know.
He was what was your company? No, the name escapes me for a moment.
I can find out. That's I'm just making sure that I didn't close out of the loop. I don't know. It doesn't matter much.
Gmail service never as good as you want it to be.
John Rockwood. Ecotech. I was completely off.
That's right. Yes, backward type.
Okay. Good. Anything else on this agenda you would like to discuss? Or topics for future meetings? And if you do have topics for future meetings, feel free
I
to,
have something.
yeah,
The Water Resources Committee is getting the final version of their.
oh, there, yeah,
At some point, they're gonna wanna make presentations.
we'd be more than happy to have
Probably
them.
would like to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
That was a very, very, very comprehensive report that they had, and
yeah,
Is it
we
public?
need some discussion, this is pretty complicated.
found out the full name of it first.
Is there a draft available for?
They do have a draft out, and, we were making comments on the last night. What? I don't think. The final submittal isn't done yet.
So it's probably not public then. Water. Like it might be.
Cool.
Yep,
Thanks.
this is a news flash, so, yeah,
So if you could put that in Dropbox. So
Yeah.
everybody's.
absolutely. 200 pages.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, is that all?
Nice.
It's supposed to come out with a PowerPoint presentation. That's fine. I think what they've been giving.
Good.
So who prepared
The company's names on the report.
Weston?
Yeah,
Weston,
Weston,
yeah.
Sam-
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it? Yeah, they know what they do.
Yeah,
I guess in addition to that, I'm preparing a more robust report for the planning board on the climate action priority plan. And with that, I'll be kind of gauging their feelings towards it and where their next step should be. If you guys would like something similar, where I kind of break it down and synthesize it to the Conservation Commission's responsibilities. And I know we had discussed there were some areas in that priority plan that did not fully encapsulate kind of, you know,
Yes.
where we want to see our climate action plan go. So if I'm doing it for them, I would be remiss not to offer the same for you guys. So that would be sometime in October, I think.
Excellent.
So maybe the 20th would be best for that. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on that.
Well, excellent. Thank you for your work on that.
Yeah, no problem.
That is important. Anything else? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, please. Whatever the phrase you're supposed to say. I made a motion to adjourn.
I second
wait a second, did we set the next meeting date?
The first, October first.
October 1st.
Okay. Oh, that was continued to your.
Yeah, that's
Next meeting date.
Exact words.
Yeah,
that's the regular.
Yeah.
Okay,
True.
moved and seconded to adjourn. The meeting.
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. This meeting is adjourned at 8:12.
Good job, not trusting my computer.
Steve second.